virtual Jackson Hole symposium, we had Jerome Powell, who's the Fed chair, say that, surprise, surprise, everyone expected this, they're going to keep printing money. So those money printers just keep on going. People will say, well, maybe they'll taper off, maybe end of the year, maybe when we say taper, they weren't even expecting that they'd stop buying up all these assets. They were saying maybe they would just slow the rate at which they're continually printing money to purchase assets. So none of this happened, and they just keep on printing. They said that they plan to keep quantitative easing loose, encouraging spending and investing. The way people are spinning this is to say, this will enable people. They'll have more liquidity, and it'll make it easier for investors to spend on riskier assets like Bitcoin, kind of putting this positive spin like that. You'll have more resources freed up. Let's talk about what's going on. Your purchasing power is losing more and more value. Now, the markets expected this. There was no surprise in this. You had it uncertain beforehand, like if we're talking about like S&P stock markets. There's always uncertainty before you have the Fed chair making a big announcement. But as soon as the announcement was made, you're back up to all-time highs. Why is this? Because people are parking their money in assets where they won't completely lose the value of all of their savings. This means Bitcoin. This means stock market and all of that. So, I mean, it just makes me so sad to watch all of this play out and watch them keep, spinning up all of these reasons for this. They're saying, well, COVID-19 variants, there's macroeconomic uncertainty. We've got to keep on printing money. It doesn't matter how they're justifying all of this. At the end of the day, we are all losing out with our money just losing purchasing power. But Jen, I saw your hand go up, so I'm going to throw to you for your take.
Yeah, I was reading an article, I think it was in CNBC yesterday, and they were interviewing Dallas Federal Reserve President Robert Kaplan, and he was actually hoping that the tapering was going to start much sooner. He was hoping to see it, I think he said September, and he talked about his delegation, and he spoke about this concern for COVID and the Delta variant. And he said that, people are learning to live with it now, and he doesn't see it having as much of an impact on the economy. And inflation is actually affecting the poorest people in his delegation. We're seeing the rise of gas prices. We're seeing housing prices through the roof. And this is affecting the poorest people in our community. So this is just sad news to start a Friday.
Yeah, Ben, throw it to you.
Yeah, Delta variant, very real, very concerning. Go get vaccinated, but whatever, that's fine. It's definitely causing economic slowdowns in terms of how people are dealing with this, right? Like businesses are not reopening at the rate they thought. Like hot girl summer, this past summer has not really been what everybody expected in terms of a booming economic outlook. So this makes a lot of sense in terms of a continuation of the policies that we have seen. Again, Naomi, like you said, it's a little bit unsurprising, particularly as we're looking at other infrastructure packages and other things that are being pushed through Congress here in the US. So we're going to see how this goes. He will continue to put money into alternative assets. I don't think a ton of people are spending, and that's part of the reason the Fed's having to take this action. So we saw Bitcoin's price, respond accordingly. It was kind of been rising since this announcement. But yeah, those are my initial thoughts in terms of what impact this may have for even the next year, right? Like this thing isn't going away in the near future. So it's going to be something we're going to continue to talk about in the months to come.
Zach, any thoughts there?
Zach's just nodding away.
Keeping it loose.
Keeping it loose. Movement happening in his box.
Keeping it loose like the Fed's policies.
Loose. Me
Keyboards
and Jerome are out
an
here
interpretive dance from
loose.
Zach Seward.
That's what we're doing. To keep that money flow loose, boys. Let's make it happen. I don't got nothing except for must stay loose. I'm gonna kick it to you, Naomi, for a final thought, and then we'll change gears.
Yeah, I will just say that, this is completely unprecedented, what we're seeing at the moment. We shouldn't downplay the amount of money that the Fed is printing and these budgets that they're passing that, again, are unprecedented. Just huge amounts of money being printed and spent right now. So be really careful out there with your savings. If you've worked your entire life and you've got this bedrock you're hoping to retire with, make sure you're investing that and diversifying. This is not investment advice, but it is very smart common sense to not be keeping your money in cash right now.